A Já Production apresenta Agrifodas, Renascentes Íbono do Xirangano. Escutem só.
Welcome to International Dance Week Online, hosted by Free Flow Dance Theatre Company. I'm Jackie Latondras, and I'm the Artistic Director of Free Flow and the curator of this week's live stream event. I'm very pleased to bring to you a very talented lineup of Canadian artists that we will be sharing work from this week. Despite the challenges of the pandemic, our participating artists have adapted and innovated in order to continue to bring you exciting and relevant new work. As we think about the international and culturally diverse nature of dance, I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we're on traditional lands referred to as Treaty 6 territory, and that the city of Saskatoon and all the people here are beneficiaries of this peace and friendship treaty. Treaty 6 encompasses the traditional territories of numerous First Nations, including the Cree, Dene, Dakota, Nakota, Saulteaux, and the Métis Nation. We are dedicated to ensuring that the spirit of reconciliation in Treaty 6 is respected and honored. This acknowledgement also reaffirms our relationship with one another. In the spirit of International Dance Week, I invite you to take a minute to reflect on the history of the land that you are currently on and to express your own personal appreciation and acknowledgements. And now, please enjoy this evening's live stream performance.
My name is Dominga Robinson. I am a Nakota Jamaican woman from Pheasant Rump Nakota First Nation in Treaty 4 down in the southeast of this province. And I'm a cultural worker with a love for all things art and particularly dance. And wow, I'm just absolutely sitting here trying to soak in what I just watched. And it was just absolutely beautiful. And thank you again to Juan and Lucy for that really, I want to say enigmatic performance. It's the word that keeps popping to my mind when I think of what you just presented here. So thank you for that. So now's the question and answer portion of everything. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions and pick your brains on things. So Lucy, I'm learning that you are an original company member of Free Flow Dance from the 90s. So that's so wonderful. But I'm wondering a little bit about how unique this process has been from being here in person and actually being in the studio and now moving to this online format, and how well that collaboration went between the two of you being so far away from each other.
Yeah, well, as people may know, I'm based in Toronto and Juan is currently in Victoria, BC. And we've wanted to work together for a number of years. We worked with Marie-Josée Chatier out here in Ontario a number of years ago. And we wanted to work together, and then Juan left Toronto to go west, and I went, we'll never work together again. So actually, this call to artists from Free Flow Dance was like a spark. Just, why don't we do it this way? And why haven't we done it this way before? Because this technology has been there. It was just the circumstance that sort of pushed us to actually do it and like conceive of it as something. And it's been really a joyful process. I would say Juan and I spent at least half the time we were in rehearsal on Zoom talking about how things were where he was and how things are where I am in terms of the pandemic and more global, ideas and issues that are ongoing and unfolding constantly. And that was such an important part of being able to connect this way. It takes a lot of energy to connect with a dancer through a two-dimensional surface. As dancers, when we're in the studio, we're used to like taking in information through peripheral vision and, heat and wind and, all these other senses, but it's so visual. For this, and so it does take a lot. It pulls, at least for me. Juan may feel very differently. He's way younger than me, so he's got more energy. But it was like pulling a lot of energy from like deep in the guts. But it's a really, really cool thing to learn. This other way of working, and I would work again with Juan in this way. I mean, hopefully we get to work in the same room together again, but I would easily work with Juan again this way because it was really, really enjoyable to figure it out together. At least for me. He may have a totally different answer.
Juan, did you maybe want to answer that question as well?
Yeah, pretty much everything that Lucy said, I agree with. I feel that this is my first time performing on Zoom. So when we were invited, I had a totally different concept of what it was going to be performing like in Zoom. But I feel that I still got nervous. I still prepared. I still sort of like felt like I was in a stage. It was really weird. Like, I think is more a mindset thing rather than where you are. Obviously, because we are together virtually, there is a difference because we don't have the person next to us, and like, you know, sometimes before you go on a stage, you have the other person to talk to or just to make eye contact with. So that was the difference. But I think in terms of being separated, but just that feeling when you're about to go into stage, I felt that it was pretty similar.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you for that answer. Lucy, and I think you had mentioned at one point when you were talking about the connections that were made, and I'm actually going to direct this question towards Juan first, but I'm wondering about, as people of color, you know, we kind of carry our ethnicity and our culture with us in almost everything we do, and particularly in our artistic practices. And so I'm wondering how your Colombian roots inform your contemporary dancing, or how that comes in, and how you share that with others when you're working online and across. And it's quite the exchange that has to happen there.
Yeah, that's a good question. I feel that this time is being very different, obviously, for many reasons and obvious reasons because we are online. But I felt that I was able to, when I grew up dancing Latin American music in Colombia, there is that feeling inside you that you're dancing for joy and it's cultural and it's fun. And I had lost that with contemporary dance. It was still fun, but it was more brainy and it was more like academic in my brain, more thinking personally. But because this is my space and this is like my bubble, then I decided to listen to Latin music in my earphones. Like I'm basically listening to like full on reggaeton while I'm dancing, while there is this really contemporary song in the background. So I never done that before, anything like that before. So I felt that I was able to bring sort of that joy and like, like the chest is something that moves a lot, or just if we talk about the aesthetics of Latin American music, chest moves a lot, and shoulders. So I think I was able to sort of like merge that with whatever we were doing today, which is actually part of research that I've been developing for a long time, is how can I bring my roots, the music that I grew up with, that, you know, is not as complicated as contemporary music, because contemporary dance can be many, many, many things. It's endless. Latin American music has very specific steps. So I always try to think of how can I bring that into this sort of like new bubble that I live in, which is in Canada, and the training that I've had in Canada, which was contemporary dance and ballet and all that. So I don't know the answer, but I feel that I'm slowly getting closer to that, and being at home, dancing from home, was a great way to do it because it's my bubble, it's my music, nobody knows. So yeah.
Right on. So I guess the COVID and the isolation maybe had a positive impact in some ways.
I think so.
It sounds like for you both. So, well, thank you so much for taking some time to chat with me after your beautiful performance. Thank you once again for that performance. I'm going to take a moment now to thank the funders and the sponsors. So I'll start off with, SAS Culture, SAS Arts, Sightline Design, and of course, Free Flow Dance Center. We are in the middle of a pandemic in an effort to continue to support the arts. Although this is being offered free, we are willing to accept donations, and if you can, please feel free to donate some money here to help support future artistic endeavors here at Free Flow Dance. So, Thank you, everyone. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow night for night 4. Night number 4. The week is going by so fast of the International Dance Week. Thank you all for logging in.
Thanks, Dominga. Bye.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.